My name is Audrey Cherotich, and I am a journalist based in Nairobi. I grew up without my birth father, and as far back as I can remember, I've had questions about why he was not a part of my life. I was raised by my mother's family, and I know my story is shared by millions in Kenya.
Families headed by single parents rose from 25.1% in 2009 to 38.2%. If unchecked, this trend shall destroy the fundamental character of Kenya and reap untold harm onto our most vulnerable and precious members, our children.
The parcels of land were located along Kericho Road.
I have no idea where my father is, but I know he is alive. Now, I have decided to go and find him and for the missing part of my identity. Why look for the man now? What good will it bring you now in your 30s? What are you missing? What are you missing? I don't know why people look for their fathers, but maybe they aren't even looking for their fathers. Maybe they are looking for themselves. Yeah, maybe I'm looking for myself too. This is one of thousands of testimonies online, and it completely resonated with me. Why is it that I had to grow up without a father? Was I not good enough? Did he not want me? Did he regret having me? Growing up without a father has impacted me in ways I'm still trying to understand. I'm about to graduate and get married, and I think for the first time, I felt like, okay, so who am I and who do I belong to? For the longest time, I have struggled with self-esteem. I felt like I wasn't good enough for anything. My family loves me. I have had great uncles. I have had great aunties, amazing aunties, who have gone out of their way to be a father to me. It wasn't their responsibility, but they took it. I don't show my emotions easily, but this journey has been a lifetime coming. This gap in my soul is shared by many, but not everyone is happy to speak about it. Before I set off, I'm meeting Simon and Marion, who have also struggled due to their own absent fathers.
Parents niliwakosa kitu mwaka wa 82. Hapo ndo tulipoteana na wazazi.
Mamangu alinizaa hapa Kitengela, but sikuiona babangu.
Changamoto niliyopitia kukosa mzazi, kitu cha kwanza, kwa sababu nikiona marafiki wangu venye wanalelewa na feel I wish nilikuwa nao. Hata mimi nilikuwa nimelelewa exactly venye huyo mzazi venye ana handle mtoto wake.
Unatafuta chakula ndio unapata. Ukienda kwa majirani wanakutenga. Juu hata mama yako mwenye alikuwa na wewe amekushika mkono ni msi. Hakuna vile anaweza fanya. Unakanga unajiuliza ungekuwa na baba pia wewe ungelelewa kama watoto wengine. Labda kwa maisha yangu ningekuwa na baba na mama, ningesoma nimalize chuo. Na labda saa hizi ningekuwa na maisha poa. Ningekuwa natoka huko nikienda kwetu home, napatapo babangu pia mimi nafurahi vile au watoto wengine wanafurahi.
I want to know what the law says about people like Simon, Marion, and myself, so I'm going to see a lawyer. Figures from the Kenya Integrated Household Budget Survey 2015-2016 reported that 32.4% of households are headed by females. This then means that there is a great number of women raising blended families. Does it mean there is an inadequacy in the law? such that men impregnate women are not held accountable legally, such that there's an increase in the number of these kinds of families in Kenya at the moment?
I will choose to think of it very differently. I don't think there's an inadequacy in the law. If anything, I think our laws have really expanded. First and foremost, when you look at the Constitution, Article 53 provides for the right of a child. And it gives a wide array of rights of children. There's one to a name and nationality, rights against any inhuman or degrading treatment, any sort of harassment. It also provides that a child has a right to parental care and love. And the Constitution equally recognizes that there is a 50-50 responsibility begged on parents to these children. Perhaps I would argue that maybe the reason as to why there is a proliferation of single-parent homes is by virtue of the fact that very many women are now better informed, such that they will not stay in relationships or marriages where their rights are undermined. If you're faced with the situation of an irresponsible father, or what in local parlance we refer to as deadbeat dads, the mother to this child can approach court to have this man provide and maintain his child.
So I'm on a journey. I'm looking for my father, and I need to know whether this is a journey I can do on my own, or I need the courts to do this.
If you are above 18 years of age, unfortunately, this is then a journey you'll have to do on your own. They are not very, it is not, even if you went to court, it is not possible for the court, because then for a court to give an order, it needs to be enforceable against someone or something. It's very difficult for you to, for example, sue government. Though it could maybe be something that perhaps someone can try one day, but in my line of practice, it is something I've not seen.
I have thought about this for long enough, and after months of preparation, it's time to go. My mother conceived me in the late 80s, and at the time she was living with my aunt, her younger sister, who had just completed her secondary education and was waiting to go to college. She is one of the closest people I know who met my birth father. Now that I'm on the road, I am nervous, I am excited, I'm hopeful. And it's just a cocktail of emotions right now, but I'm prepared. Whatever comes, I think I can handle it. I have decided to go home to Nandi County to spend a few days with my family. Hopefully, I will learn some new things about my father. This is the first time I'm going to have this conversation with my family, and much as I know they understand this journey, I never consulted them. I'm also a little scared of how they will take it. My grandmother is amazing. She has been my whole life, and I don't think anyone could love me more. This is my mom. She is very shy, and we have barely talked about her past. We have agreed she won't be interviewed for this film, but she allowed me to have this conversation with her sister, my aunt. My auntie has always been a part of my life since I was born. She lived with us for the better part of my early childhood. She is best placed after my mom to tell me about my father. It's lovely to be back home with these women in the only place I've called home, but recently I've felt a little lost. In my culture, and I believe most African cultures, not having a father has thrown up so many questions as I approach the wedding plans. I don't have the answers, but now more than ever, I need to know who I am. Near my home, I went to visit an elder from my community to understand what happens to someone in a situation such as mine.
Lagok chekakisich eng gaa kokasich lakwet eng gaa amakitun. Ko biik cheribe lakwanatak kakisich ko ii mamenyi netupcho ak kwonyotok kisich lakwanatak amu mami kwan. Angoit betut nemoche kikoito eng gaa mama. Ikoito mama lakwanatak ama mami kwan nekinyo kole kiasiche lakwani kokoito mama. Ako eng kutit nyo nebo Nandi ko neiman ko lazima komi chito neikoito lakwet, maikoito chi age. Lazima ko chi netiliatab lakwanatak kikisich ngo werit anan ko chepto. Ngewechin ikoito werit kwendi mama kowechin ikoito weroto. Ko ngo chepto kebwendi gaa mama kikoito lakwanatak kokoitoi mama eng kutit nyo nebo Nandi. Ako bendi eng sobenyo eng bitetab biikab Kalenjin ko makat kerib lagochotok koigei ak lagok chun alak chun kikisich kotindoi sigik chetwai. Ko nito netindoi sigindet agenge kuyotok kamwa kong'ete mwanzo ko lazima korib mama lakwanatak. Akwendi konyoru tuguk chikuye makat konyor. Ako kichop Mungu lagochotok, ribe Mungu akoekekitu ako ng'omekitu akot eng sukulishek anan ko somaneng'wai. Ko lagochotok kotindoi berurtong'wa inegei amu ingen Mungu kole akot chito nekisichei komamach konyo chichotok akomwa kole nanyu lakwet. Ko kimache kityo kinet lagok chekwonyi amin chewerik anan ko chetibik kenai kele ngokakainai ile kaisich lakwa ngokchi irub lakwanatak amu masikchini mutai irub lakwanatak kokakoet kotebenen kolechin kimyoni ngot ko kingen ile kisicho ko kisicho akindene ano. Koeku makosa eng chito nekisiche lakwanatak. So mache keribkei notok ko ki murenik ako mache kora konai tibik kole mie kotebi chito eng mieindo akotebi eng oret nekararan simasich lakwet nema karon kotindoi tewernatet anan karon kotindoi kiy nemacham amanyiny eng inendet.
The only way I will make progress in my journey is to have a conversation with my aunt, the much feared conversation. It has taken me 30 years to ask this, and there's always that fear of what will they feel when you ask this.
I think it's okay in my view. It's always good to know your identity, though 30 years have been long. But for us, it's okay. It's okay to know your identity.
So what type of a person was he?
He was a politician, so an easy person to relate with, very friendly, loved people, kind-hearted, and he also loved you people when you were young. And he played his role then well as a father.
I spoke to Mom earlier and she mentioned to me that I would be able to find him in Kericho because back then he had parcels of land, but she doesn't know exactly where. I don't know, would you know maybe specifically where I could find him?
Yeah, the parcels of land were located along Kericho Road. I think a place called can't remember well. I'll call a friend to find out. He also had a home in Nakuru Road.
Finding out that my father was a politician is a revelation. With all the information from my aunt, I'm heading straight to Kericho County. I noticed from a young age that I was not like most of the other children.
I think it was hardest for me when people asked me, where is your father? What's your surname? Why don't you have a surname? Hello, habari ya sai? Morgan got ko inyoru the details. Kuna details you are to get for me. I don't know if you are able to.
Yeah, I was able to.
Oh, so kibendi ano?
Maybe I'm on the direction and now you're going to WhatsApp?
Send me on WhatsApp, sawa.
Okay.
Sawa, thanks. This has been a very emotional journey for me, and as much as I know it doesn't show, I am walking, thinking about it, sleeping, thinking about it, showering, thinking about it. I don't really know if I want him in my life, but I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt, to listen to him and understand why things happened the way they did. And then after that, we will see.
The fear of rejection is there. What if we get there and he chases me away? It's been a long night. I have had butterflies in my stomach all through. I keep playing scenarios in my head, and all of them keep playing out to being chased away from the home. If I don't find my answers by the end of this journey, I'll never try to find them again. I may not stop questioning because I will always wonder where he is, what kind of a person he is, what kind of a person he really was, but it will just not bother me anymore. I'm really scared and nervous, but I've come this far, I can't go back. I cannot show up in my father's home unannounced with a camera crew. I need to go alone first and see if I'm welcome. In the end, I needn't have worried.
I would like to specifically say, Cherotich, karibu nyumbani. We're happy you have come home, and feel free to come all the time. I'm sending regards to your mom, to your grandmother, and everybody. Thank you so much.
I'm still having a mixed reaction feeling right now, but it wasn't as bad as I expected actually. I needed to go on this journey because I needed to know, and I have no regrets whatsoever. I still have a lot to think about, but there's a possibility that I've opened another door. I'm hoping to have a conversation where I tell him what my life has been not growing up with him and how it impacted me.
I do hope that any fathers out there, and even mothers who know about their children and they don't have a relationship with their children, I really hope that they can think about how it is growing up with either parent single-handedly, and for me, if just one parent, reaches out to their children and says, hey, you are my child, I love you, I'm here for you. For me, that alone makes me happy.